Good afternoon. I am Tony Dattino, a founder of the USA Memory Championship, and of course, the first USA Virtual Memory Championship that we just did this past Saturday on November the 14th. And the good news that we now have is we have the video recording of that we can now break up into various segments. And so we can share with my Live with Tony and our YouTube audiences little snippets of 10 to 15 minute talks that were given Columbia, MIT, McGovern Brain Institute, Penn State. We have some really great speakers, and now we're working on the next leg. So it's been amusing to me is there's as much work after the event as there was before the event. First, all of the months of planning to get the event together, and we've had so many really appreciate the comments that are coming in of people who felt that we really did a nice job on it, and that was in combination with Lumosity and MIT. So it wasn't, the USA Memory Championship team doing this all by itself. We had some really terrific partners that teamed up with us, and then, of course, we had some really great speakers. The good news is the event actually captured an interest of a number of different people, and I want to try to just share a couple of the questions that are coming back in from people. We're still working to get the scores posted, so that was a piece of work we didn't think was going to take as long as it's taken to get them. They're on a spreadsheet. Now we're just trying to pretty it up so we can get it out and people can look at their scores and their ranking. And everybody that's got a code will be able to look at their own code. So we're not giving names, but we're giving codes back that you got from Lumosity, so you'll know where your scores are and how you ranked. But the fun part was you participated, and that to me is what it was all about, that you participated. And again, McKenna Gooden was our champion, an 18-year-old college student out of Virginia Wesleyan, majoring in marine nutrition. So all good. Now, the next question we're getting, can you do an event like this for an organization that I'm affiliated with? So it can be a company, it can be a community service org, it can be a Rotary Club, it can be an Elks Club, it can be American Legions, it can be a senior citizen community center. So we've talked to a number of different people about, can we do an event like this with different communities or company organizations? And the answer is we've done this over the years for companies and their annual conferences, and we've done it in schools, we've done it in different businesses just within the business itself. So we've had a lot of fun with that, and it's usually one of the best hooting and hollering and events that a company can have for, first of all, boosting morale and bringing people to a new level of how they respect one another. But it also is very competitive because now we're talking about who's got the most. Many people equate memory to intelligence, and yet very few people understand we can teach you some skills that as you practice and use the skills, you get better at it. And so this notion of impacting memory and its impact on intelligence, and whether or not you're fixed with your intelligence upon what you were born with, is another one of those myths that the event is really trying to take away and blow out. It's not valid. So when you think of intelligence, when we bring these events into organizations and have done them, I find it interesting and always amusing because people always equate the two. Memory equals intelligence, intelligence equals I have a good memory, and that is not the case. If you go back and look at a number of our champions, many of them will tell you, I never thought of myself as smart, but I learned that I can improve my memory and then enter the competition and pow, look at how good I am in terms of what I'm able to do as it relates to memory. And now all of a sudden people look at me and they're coming to me for, how did I do that? What was the training I did? So a number of our champions have written their own books that have done well. One of my favorites is Josh Foer's Moonwalking with Einstein, and that book has just continued to be a winning book. Way back, Scott Hadwood put a book out on memory power way back in the early days of us starting this event. Nelson Dellis has got a book out that came out last September, and that he's been a 4-time champion, and so Nelson's done that. And so we've got many of our champions have put books out because people want to know, how did you do these things? How were you able to improve your memory, and what were the skills? So the short answer to the people that have asked, can we do an event like this within their organization, company, community group, the answer is clearly yes. And it's what are you trying to accomplish, and how would we mix the right games? May go back to our partners at Lumosity, we may go back to MIT or one of our universities that we've been working with now that are excited to be a part of this. So the question I always ask people first is, what would you like to accomplish in the event? Meaning, are you just trying to have some fun and just do it as an entertainment, look at what we can do, and therefore we may want to bring some speakers in as well as hosting an event? Are the people that you would want them to compete, would they look at this as it's a fun endeavor, let's just have some fun with it, and therefore let's just test it, and therefore the events we may have would be a little different than what we do presently? So that's the first question I ask the people. What are you trying to accomplish by putting on an event? And when I mean an event, there's really 2 parts to this. There's the first part is actually hosting the event, and how do we put an agenda of speakers that we pull on and put it onto the agenda, and then have it be entertaining and educational, so that there's a message to it that people watching it can get, and give them a sense of hope that anyone can improve their memory, given the desire to want to do so. And then the second thing is, how competitive do we want to make this in terms of the people that are going to want to compete in it? And are they going to want to compete for the fun of it, or is there some seriousness to it? So I always try to get a sense of the culture of the organization, the company, the community centers that we're working with, and just get that balance. And therefore, it helps me with my team to decide what kind of an event would we put together that would be representative of having fun and making it exciting, and still be that, oh wow, look at what these people were able to do. So that's the first part of it. Now the second part you've heard me already talk about, which is the educational part. So we have an online course, Maximum Memory Mastery, with various modules of mnemonics, remembering people's names, remembering strings of numbers, remembering a list of things to be done, how to go through and read paragraphs of text, as we have an event called Poetry, 50 lines of poetry that you have to retain and recall. So those events then have training material for it. So there are mnemonics that are included in a Maximum Memory Mastery online course for the people who first want to have the fundamentals of just tell me how I can improve my memory, and teach me some of the fundamentals, and then I'll figure out how I want to use those in my life. Maybe I want to build a better skill of remembering people's names and faces, and I'm in sales, or I meet people all the time. I'm an executive or director of a group of people, or I'm the president of an association, and I want to learn how to improve the names of the people that are on my teams or people that I meet. Again, people think of remembering people's names and faces. Great respect. Wow, he or she remembered my name, and also, wow, they're pretty smart. And so we equate these things together, and so we have a whole module on how do you do that. What are the different techniques that one can use that is in the online course. Of course, then from there, we go through a really popular method that we demonstrated at the event on Saturday called the loci, or the Roman room. It's been around for thousands of years. I don't know why they've never taught this in school. So that brings me to education. So teaching it in school, teaching it in organizations, teaching it to people at any age. Do you understand how your memory works? Do you understand the principles of how to build a foundation of learning to learn? And how do you accelerate that foundation through practice and through developing a set of skills? I call them building blocks that allow you to accelerate their own thinking patterns on how you learn and read and study, listen, retain, create, And there's a whole sequence of skills that you can learn that really just help you to be a better version of yourself. And that version of yourself can be used to learn new skills. It can be better used to apply to your work and do better at your work. But it's got a variety of different skills that give you a better life. I just want to glance all quickly here. From Pakistan, and Akash, I hope that's hi Akash, it's a pleasure to have you on. I'm not sure what time it is in Pakistan, but I get the feeling that you're either up pretty darn late or you're waking up pretty darn early. But it's great to have you on the broadcast, and I'd encourage you to take a look at our USA Memory Championship website and just see what we just finished and what we've been up to over here in the United States. But welcome. It's nice to have you. I don't always look at the comments, but something caught my eye, and I think it was the comment you wrote in from Pakistan. So welcome. It's great to have a worldwide audience in terms of My Live with Tony. So getting back to the schools, okay, one of the things that I've always wanted to do when I'm working at schools, and I've worked with middle school, high school, and college students. We've had teachers that have worked with this for a number of years, is I don't want people just to learn the skills for the sake of learning the skill and competing in a competition. I want people to learn the skill and then apply it to their science lessons, apply it to their English lessons, and apply it to their art classes. Apply it to the various classes you've got, so that the purpose of building the skill is to have you become a better student, be it at middle school, high school, college. And so we've done educational programs for different schools, academic institutions. And those have been fun, and we've enjoyed doing those. And those have, for kids, I get excited about it because it's transformed the lives of many of the students that we've touched. As I was teaching or talking to one of our teachers the other day, she's like, you have no idea how many medical students have come out of the teachings I've done over the 10 years. And her name happens to be Colette Silvestri, who's my shining star of taking these skills and bringing them into education and making a difference in the lives of her students. 10 years now. And she's grown that club of teachers who really get this and believe in it and really see the difference it makes in their students. So it's all good. It's all terrific. And those are just some of the broad questions that we're getting through our website right now. And I was hoping at least to generalize and give people answers. But by closing, I always ask people, let's just get on the phone and spend 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you'd like. And let's just talk about specifically what are the outcomes that you're looking to achieve by creating an association, partnership, a collaboration with the USA Memory Championship team. And then let's take it from there as to what's doable and how we do it and what a budget may be that we look at for it, and work with all those pieces to make a successful, fun event happen for whomever you're looking to sponsor it for. This is my Thursday, 3 p.m. broadcast. I will be back on Saturday afternoons, again, if things go well, 3 p.m. And then we go into Thanksgiving week, which I think I'm going to shift to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday for Thanksgiving week. You can just go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But we'll take this on Saturday. I'll give you an update, look at my schedule, what's going on. And till then, you have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.